All right. Let's get this show on the road. Get the show on the road. The Dojo Podcast, Season 15, Episode 5. We back once again with another one, different location,
sunny
different province.
Yeah.
Probably even different weather. I don't know. What's the weather like in Joburg right now? I don't know.
Talking about, let's get this show on the road. You'll not podcast on the road, bitches.
On the road.
It's on the road, man.
We touring off of this shit. We touring, nigga.
Niggas outside the province.
We been out in Fixback, me killing, ne?
Yes.
So nice, man.
Yeah, man. By the poolside.
Yeah.
You know, Umnati. Weather's out.
It's beautiful.
Hey, father. Mad, beautiful. But Fixburg, as you guessed it, at the Cherry
Film Festival.
Fest. Yes.
Did intimate that we'll be here last episode.
Yeah, bro.
Correct.
Yeah, man. So the film festival hosted by the homies, and they invited us
the
to be,
Immortal Media guys.
yes, to be part of the festivities. You know what I'm saying? We did a whole school little thing.
Yeah,
You know,
career day.
Career day
Career
type
day
thing.
activation.
That was dope.
Yeah, that was dope.
Yeah, man. And then people mates.
How did you guys find the panel?
I thought it was cool. Some of the questions coming from the kids were really profound.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They were asking, some were asking really engaging questions.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I think we were well received.
We were.
Yeah, from the kids. You know,
What
did
do
you
you
guys
think?
Do I have thoughts? I think when you're in that environment, you can't help but think about back when you were in school.
Yeah,
We never had that.
We didn't.
yeah,
We never
at
had
all.
that. Also, the funny thing was, when I was there, I was saying to Cross, or when I was there, I was looking at these kids looking at us, ne? And they can't wait to be here. And I'm looking at them, I'm like, yo, I wish I just had this innocence
Yeah.
and had my entire life to look forward to. You know what I mean? Yeah,
For-
but it
for
was
a bit
very
longer.
nostalgic. But I found it very fun, interesting. I found it interesting.
I
and
can't get
engaging.
over just how small matriculants are.
And teachers.
And how big I thought I was in matric.
You were probably just a light.
I thought I was a grown-ass man
Yeah.
in matric.
And Babanya now, but
Picture babanyane,
Yeah, they
babanyane.
small.
And now you think, bruh, what the hell was wrong with them taxi driving niggas?
Whoa.
Yeah, dating these kids.
Yeah, dating these kids. Because you clearly
Even
see,
lower than matric.
Yeah.
Even lower than matric.
you clearly see what
Kibana.
But though, in their defense,
In whose defense? The pedos.
yes. When I was in first year varsity, because a lot of the taxi drivers back then were in their early to mid 20s.
They were young
Ah,
themselves.
yes.
Ba bane ba jola lele.
Oh,
Yeah,
ke bane
true.
ba sa kgone ho fumana Spane after us gay.
Yes,
Hey.
true.
They were young niggas.
Yeah,
Yeah,
ba bane
they
ba
were
qeta
young,
bo
they
grade
were really-
grade 10, yeah.
yeah.
Maybe around like early 20s, mid 20s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Throughout my whole varsity, actually, when I would see high school girls in town, I would be
Yeah, trying to holler.
intrigued. I'd be
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't holler. I wouldn't holler, but
Yeah.
I wasn't hollering because of the fact that I thought it was wrong for me to holler at them. I just thought too much of myself to be dating a high school
A
girl.
high school chick.
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
right.
It was a class thing.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
class thing.
but man, I was seeing them.
Yeah.
You're looking, you're at your scouting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was seeing them. So I don't know.
Yeah,
Nah, but it was
So it was that.
it was a good panel.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's part of the Papa again.
Oh.
We're shouting out the
Okay.
Cherry Film Fest. Barabonsis moving a blind day yesterday. I was really engaged into that,
I loved
man.
it.
But shout out to what they're doing out here,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
guys at
yeah.
Cherry Film Fest. We'll shout out West 22, even though we're not there.
Yeah.
Shout out to West 22, man.
Different location today, but you can check them out for your videography and photography needs. We'll
Exactly.
check them on our description.
Yeah.
Uzuri, our daily bread, they still bring us out. www.uzurionline.co.za. In fact, if you are a
Vendor.
Patreon listener, you really feel some sweet nyana thing like a discount month end ranking on the Dojo match.
Yes.
On Uzuri, so you can catch it there on Uzuri. What else?
Yeah, I think that's about
That's
it.
it
And
in
yeah,
terms
and
of-
grab the merch, man. Signature shirt's still out, so grab yourself one using that discount code for all the Patreon memberships, man. We appreciate you guys. Thank you a lot. Yeah. What else?
That's it in terms of
Yeah, that's about
Spy.
it. Man.
in terms of plug, né?
Yeah.
What did you guys think of? Okay, first of all, what was the movie or the documentary that we watched yesterday?
We watched yesterday.
Yeah.
In and
the life
Toka.
of Winnie Mandela.
Yeah,
Winnie.
yeah. I'd never seen it.
Who shot that?
I have no
I
idea.
don't.
what's that.
I've seen that though. I've seen it before. It must have maybe come on SABC somewhere somehow, or maybe some clips are the same.
Maybe some clips are the same.
Somebody
But,
apartheid, but this one is also a
Yeah.
focus on it. I don't know who, but
But-
we'll find out from the homies.
but I digged it, man. The tone of it and the stuff that they delved into. I wonder when you think about Winnie's story and her position in the struggle. I think and what you've heard, I think they really went in on some of those
They
things.
did a lot of justice, man.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
started looking at Nelson.
Hella different. but
Hella
let's remember.
different.
Hella differently,
Same.
yes.
Same, dog. Same. Right. The one of the security agents there damn near admitted, oh,
Yes.
man, we cooked that
Yeah,
nigga.
we were working on the nick. In fact, what I
Damn
like,
near
in
admit
fact,
it.
He
what
even
she
said,
said,
they told him what to
Yes.
say.
Yeah.
What
That
I was-
pissed me off so
Yes.
much.
Oh.
What I was finding out, remember there's an insert where she says when they put him in a comfortable house, but you can even live with your family.
Yeah.
She said no,
Aha.
they are working on you.
Yes.
I refuse to come stay here as a
Kinda
co-opt
get-
myself into being a slavery
Yeah,
or
a
a prisoner.
prisoner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But I'm just being a prisoner. If you want to be free, you must be let go to your home.
And she because I guess they were doing those back and forth where then she comments on things.
Yes.
She even said, okay, listen, I didn't like, I'm paraphrasing here, she didn't like the fact that he was staying and so isolated away
From other
From-
from
yes.
the leadership.
from the homies. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because nebamile raliwa.
Yeah, working on it. And
And
Mangabla, they
She was
admitted-
hip to what they were
yeah,
doing.
she was hip to
Yeah.
it. She was totally.
And
hip
there's a
to it.
lot of things that where she was like, she would say something, but I was proven right, or don't take this move,
Yes.
take this move, don't do this, do this. This
Yeah.
is, when she was saying I was always ahead of them in terms of thinking.
And even Kanaking, one of the agents talking about how they were using the media to discredit
Yeah,
her.
the
Yes.
propaganda.
Yeah, and then I remembered everything we've heard about her.
You
'Cause
start looking at
I-
Desmond Tutu, bro, like when he did that TRC.
Ah,
Oh,
And I'm Foster
Amubega.
hey,
And he
I'm
hung her out to dry.
bro. And she shed tears talking
She
about
did.
this. Yeah, she shed tears. I
Man.
can't believe this nigga asked me to apologize. I
Yo.
can't believe it.
And then have it
Not after everything I've
ha
fucking
qeta ba
been
tlo fa
through.
bo ditleke dinto di
Nobel Peace
Uh,
Prize.
Nobel
Nobel
Peace
Peace
Prize.
Prize.
I
They
know.
made sure that
In
she
fact-
never comes into power.
Yeah, in fact there's a ngamla na re.
Ensured it.
Yes.
There's a ngamla ring.
Can you be on the pod, please?
Kana there's a ngamla la nchola mari in a fair world, it should have been the first President Mandela and then Winnie.
Yes.
Yes.
In a farewell.
In a farewell.
But for the project that they're working on,
If,
that
if,
couldn't
if
happen.
they'd let her cook, she would have been the next president.
Yeah, if they let her
Yeah.
cook.
Is what they said.
So he betrayed her.
Yes.
He sold her out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Man, because if you really think about how long Nelson was incarcerated, 27 years, and to think that this woman was carrying the mantle for over a decade,
For over a decade.
and for him to
Going through
abandon her
so
like
much
that.
abuse.
Whoa.
Even Dali abandoned her because why did he leak the letter she wrote him?
Yeah, we're not gonna.
But I think I don't
That's the
think,
part I wanted
yeah,
to actually get.
Okay.
The letter was real, right?
Yes.
The letter was real, but I don't believe Dali gave it up.
Then Baitate Peters.
The secret agents found it, bro, because they had informers everywhere. They
Yeah.
mentioned they had infiltrated her bodyguards.
Yeah,
They mentioned it.
Then-
They had infiltrated the inner circle.
yeah.
So anybody could have found that letter and
Man.
took it to.
I
to
felt
the ministry.
betrayed on her behalf
Did you guys read
also.
The Long Walk to Freedom?
Yes.
No, I
I
haven't.
did.
Yeah. What does he mention as the reason for divorcing Winnie? You remember? I remember the story.
I think I read it a very long time ago.
Yeah.
But if you'll tell me
Memory
after
serves.
if I was right.
Yeah.
I remember him talking along the lines of the fact that she was too radical, and the necklacing stories that were happening out in the streets, and how that was jeopardizing the negotiations that they were trying to
Yes.
conduct with the white people.
Yeah.
Am I on the right track?
Yeah, but no, yeah, it was one of the reasons. But
Yeah.
the straw that broke the camel's back, Kidali, because I'm gonna forget everything.
Also, when the letter leaked,
Yeah, I don't know what leaked first, but what happened is that Winnie went to America. Ne? When he went to America, Mandela ba phone. Hi phone be tshwara ke Get the lawyer.
Ke dale.
I choose the lawyer, the young lawyer.
Oh, the young lawyer.
We will catch a case.
Oh, God.
Ne?
Yeah.
Abare, after Abaku Halmi is Gantonuna, then when he came back, then the relationship was. Then all the other things then added to it.
So that is how he paints.
That's how he paints it in the book.
Yeah.
He
Of
didn't-
Of course, in the book, he's not going to say,
Yes.
Mangamla, we're forcing him to.
Yes, because that's how the
Yeah,
donkey
yeah.
sets it.
He didn't protect her at all. Not even once.
Yeah, man.
He even humiliated her when it was his inauguration,
Yeah,
where he made her sit.
Do you think,
Like,
Bruh.
do you guys think,
she wasn't VV.
Hey,
do you guys think that there are two things at play? So there was almost an emasculation of him by the apartheid system,
Definitely.
where we almost like became the man, held the family, ne? But also she became even more radical in her political rhetoric, ne?
And more popular.
Then later, but obviously, when he came out, now she had a alleged
Following.
relationship,
Oh, okay.
romantically. That as a man, it was a conflation of all those things together, like Kashaelwa.
Yeah, because I actually wanted to say, Hore, sometimes we forget that all of these things were not happening within a vacuum.
Yes,
This was
yes.
still a couple.
Yes.
They were probably still like
There were romantic issues mixed with
regular,
political,
regular
romantic issues.
romantic issues, marriage issues,
Yeah.
disagreements over what's happening with the kids, how the kids are being raised.
Yes.
Maybe, for example, he might have had a problem with her putting
Their daughter.
the daughter on
a
the
stage.
podium, on a
Yes.
platform like that,
Yes.
Yes.
Like they could have been fights about whatever, any other thing
Yeah.
that were now mixed into the pot with all this other political stuff that's happening.
That's happening.
And one thing I couldn't help but notice, the day that they came out, or the day that he came out, when they got out the car and they did that walk,
Yeah,
they
that
did the
nigga
walk.
did not look happy at all.
Yeah, he didn't.
Yeah.
It looked like they just had a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. He didn't.
Because she was the first one to raise the
Yeah,
The
the
fist,
first.
Abamolate.
and then he
Yeah.
was started to look weird, and
Yeah.
then he started.
Yeah.
And then he.
But
Yeah.
when they got out that car, he wasn't
Yeah.
looking
Yeah,
pleased
plus,
at all.
plus that agent
What to say?
Oh, yeah, Onachi.
Yes, he did
and
say.
don't appear
Radical.
So don't
She
do
went
the,
against the script.
yeah, don't do the first.
Mudise right.
Hence she did it first.
Yeah, Mudise right.
And then
She
he-
did it as a
yeah,
sign of
and then
defiance
he followed-
against.
And then he followed suit.
No, in
So
fact,
now sorry Taba. So now can you imagine, because it doesn't take away from the fact that this is still a Xhosa African man
Yeah.
with traditional values.
Values.
How does that feel
yeah.
Yeah.
When your wife
being
is
upstaged
by your wife.
by Masai?
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm not saying that it's right.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to make sense of all the emotions that might have
That
been
have-
happening
yes,
within
yes.
him as well.
Yeah.
Before I
Yeah.
discard him.
Yeah, complete.
Totally.
No.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah, no, because I
Yeah,
remember.
we gotta cut him some slack.
Yeah, I remember there was a particular insight, but we did tell him already, this is what's going to happen. So I think his discomfort was, she's going against the script.
Yeah.
And also Kawacha the negotiation. Yes.
But at the same time,
Same time.
she's the reason that your name is still
Hey.
relevant
Yeah.
out in the street.
Exactly.
But that could be a bad thing too. Because
No.
now why am I so, I'm saying at the fragile male ego.
Yes.
Well, why is my name now propped up only because of you?
Yeah.
It that might have been so difficult to
To-
accept
to
the fact
reconcile.
that
As a man,
had
yeah.
it not been for this woman,
Yeah.
you probably would
You're
be
not your own
forgotten
man.
right
You're,
now.
yeah, you're not your
Yeah.
own man.
Yeah. True, man.
Yeah, you are not
People
your
would have
own
just
man.
thrown away the key, one of the many, because he wasn't the only political prisoner. In fact, he's not the only.
He wasn't the
There
only.
are still political prisoners
Yeah.
in prison today.
Yes. Ba PAC bilins ba ba kwaletse.
Nobody's saying free, whoever, whoever.
Yeah.
But she was out here, bro. We saw the interview, international media coming to her house.
At least
conducting
he
it. And
could
then,
have-
and in each and every interview, it's like
But
release
Mfana,
that man.
Yeah, that lady was powerful, man. Like we were robbed so much. Yeah, one like apartheid, like it robbed us so much. There's a words where she said with conviction, Nelson Mandela is gonna lead this nation as the first president. Like 20 years before it happened.
He didn't protect her. I'm actually so mad at him.
But think about something as well.
I'm
like-
mad too at him.
Yeah, think about something as well. Like, there's a lot. They could have offed this woman. Like, like sometimes when your path is clear, like when you look at Nelson Mandela, like, "Tronko nakwekana," your wife could have been killed. Like, there's so many things that were so easy to happen, but they didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you see that what I chalk that up to, because sometimes I would wonder, they were killing political
Yeah.
activists
Yeah, lawyers.
all the time.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
there was I forgot his name. He got killed in a letter bomb. But they knew how much chaos would erupt if they touched
this
these
particular
ones.
person.
Yeah.
And that's why at the treason trial they expected a hanging. But the government knew that they could not afford.
Yeah,
first of all, they couldn't make him a martyr.
Yeah.
And second of all, who knows what would have happened in the streets if they had hung.
Because we are still the majority, bro.
If they would have hung.
We are
Martyr.
still the majority. We
So the
forget
next
that.
best thing was life imprisonment.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but then that's the same reason they couldn't kill
Winnie.
Winnie.
Yeah.
But they gambled with honey, though, because when I watched the documentary, it seemed like Honey Le Winnie were the two most radical,
Yeah.
disturbing the flow of the negotiations.
Yeah.
And then, but okay, media wise and credibility wise, we're gonna decimate her. And then, but this one we gotta.
But
off.
I think you
We
know why.
gotta kill.
You know what,
this one we gotta
I
off.
think the reason why with Chris Hani it was easy because they already knew that we are already gonna give the black people that we're gonna give them the black government. So if he had died under apartheid, it would have been a different thing. Wabo? So what they knew is that we knew we're gonna give him. I think he was stalling the negotiations because he was the one that's saying
Yeah,
we want
but-
the land and
Yeah.
But they left him out of it.
Yeah.
You see, that's the other shady thing, bruh. Because it's not just Nelson. All of them. Because
All of them.
this would have been a deliberate effort to keep out certain members of
Yes.
the movement from
Yes.
those negotiations because
Yes.
they knew
Or certain
that they
demands
would not
out.
have been able
Yeah.
to get past a certain point
Yeah.
with these people present. Because once we're talking about land,
Yep.
we
Yeah.
are not negotiating anymore. So
Right.
if Chris is in that room,
It's not
it's
happening.
a deadlock.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not happening.
It's a
So
deadlock.
He had to go.
Those negotiations would have taken a hell of a lot longer
Yeah.
than they took.
Yeah, and how they then
in fact, Babang, there was not supposed to be a negotiation to begin with.
exactly, and I think that's why because we saw that in the documentary. That's why we got maybe during moments of stalemates or deadlock. Then they started doing the whole popping up of the IFP to make
Yeah.
it like a different
Yeah.
Black on
alternative.
black, yeah.
To make it a different alternative.
Go kwatisa ANC.
Yeah, white ANC.
Yeah.
Man, I found that documentary so damn interesting,
Insightful.
man. We need to find out from the homies it should work among.
Yeah.
But I know the name Winnie. It's just
Yeah.
called Winnie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we just
Yeah,
need
yeah,
to
When did
find-
that documentary come out?
Yeah, I need to know.
Yeah,
I need to
but
know.
I've seen it before. But my Showmax or no, not Showmax. I think
Did
SABC.
it come out before or after Winnie's death?
No, I think after.
Hey,
Now
white,
you
fact,
say-
white people are sneaky.
Yeah.
You will find that there's a lot of documentaries that are just waiting in the
Waiting,
archives for
yes.
somebody
archives
to
on-
die,
on
it was
SABC.
after. Yeah, it was after.
Diplom.
waiting for somebody to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now we need to find out because that not for me it was my first
You know,
time
like how
seeing
we work
it.
like that
It was-
story,
it
like
was-
Bo
it was
Christiani,
amazing.
Libo Winnie. You see, that's how also the PAC. Because when you read the manifesto, what they stand for, PAC, it's what we as black people actually subscribe to, actually. Because the ANC, if everyone needed, it was propped up by Mangamla to be the preferred party. Because until how mamela bo PAC, ki what Malema says. It's very Pan-Africanist. That's why Osheba like people always talk about Mandela, but if you read into How to Die Better, Robert Sobukwe, he's the only and the longest prisoner in solitude in Robben Island. That's his record. But they don't want to write his story.
They kept him separate.
And then Hatswara, Barumulisa Kimbali, Holela High. If you read that story, Salaman, yeah. Robert Sobukwe.
Crazy.
Bruh.
Yeah, I know. Unonio.
It was very upsetting, actually.
It
It's
was.
very upsetting.
Hey,
It definitely was, man. It definitely was. But good showing. I thought it was a relevant film for them to show us
show us.
at the
Yeah,
first, man.
yeah.
And I wish
I like that setup, man. It was so beautiful.
and I wish everybody could have just a chance.
And remember,
to watch it.
we were just going to take content. When
Yeah, but then we sat. And then
And nobody left.
and nobody left.
No.
All
Nobody
the seats were
left, yeah.
occupied.
Yeah, nobody left, man. We just sat and watched that thing. Yeah, that thing was dope, man. That thing was dope.
And I think, do you guys think, like, as part of political conscious, like, I feel like, you know, like the way we came out, but then we also walk away with something of substance.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I feel like those setups could be nice.
Yeah.
Where, like, you watch something, then you engage.
And something like
like
that.
this old stuff, ne?
Yeah, yeah.
Screen nana, but we watch content that's really moving.
Yeah, and-
Because there's a lot of things and a lot of heroes that we don't know about. Like actually, like Robert Sobukwe. If you read Robert Sobukwe, you will Mandela like in El Papari. There's a lot of people, bro.
And again, people already detained now. The documentary on the niggas,
Yeah.
you know, or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
One thing I'll tell you about YouTube is that YouTube has a lot of
Yeah, you'll
content
find something.
that we don't usually search
Yeah,
for.
I during the week I saw a tweet, maybe just keeping up to the theme of what we started on. I think it was a producer on Twitter, Olansa tweet up you know, what sort of stories
Do you wanna see?
Yeah, do they want to see more on South African TV or movies? You know what I'm saying? And then people were just giving out different ideas, like, you know, we need more maybe sci-fi, South African sci-fi. We need more South
Hey,
African
man,
horror.
Kibulu.
You know, bring back like
Historical epics, man.
You know,
That's what-
But the political story.
You know, if we had Game of Thrones,
But
Edifakani.
Difakani,
Edifakani.
that would be sick though.
Difakani, like from everybody's perspective.
Yeah.
Mantatisi, Mushweshwe,
Shaka,
Shaka,
yeah,
Msilagazi,
yeah.
Soshangani, everybody, bruh.
That would be sick. Because,
Pakadita, everyone.
yeah, that would be sick, bro. That would be sick. Because look at what Shaka Llembe did. Shaka Llembe is a good production,
Oh, wow.
right? And it's fucking brilliant. And we've seen Shaka's story before, but the way they did it,
Exactly.
Let me tell you something.
It's fucking beautiful.
One thing we saw at Winnie, it was also like a lesson on, like, I think for me, one of the work away was media and propaganda, how it works.
Yeah.
In propping up heroes and villains, right?
Yes.
And you know, like both stories about Mushweshwe, for example, like we think we know a lot about it, but like more often than not, you see, they never really want to make him a hero because that guy actually is one of the 4 founders of diplomacy as a tool for negotiations. Whereas Shaka was more warrior, all right? But like he came up with like Dipuisano.
Yes.
But what Mangamla don't want to do, they will never sanction stories that show you and your ancestors and your people as having forward thinking, as being groundbreaking in making things.
What I want to ask though is that Shaka Llembe show, because I haven't seen.
You haven't seen it?
in its entirety. I've just seen the first few episodes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure Nandi she's not even born.
In the
fact,
story.
No,
Yeah.
she is.
She is.
She is.
It
She's
starts
a
with her.
teenager. in
Yeah.
this.
No, I'm
she's a
saying
teenager.
he's not even born.
Oh no.
Who's Shaka?
Shaka's not born.
Yeah, Shaka's not born.
Okay, when it starts.
Yes.
Episode 1,
Yes.
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 So what I want to know is that is he portrayed as the tyrant in that story as he was in the first Shaka
Yes.
Zoo?
Yes.
Yes.
He is.
Yes.
Wait.
But it gives
But-
you
but-
context as to why,
Why?
Yeah.
he
Yeah,
became.
and it only alludes to it near the end of the series, because it's only
When
at
he
the
started
end-
losing his
because-
mind.
No.
No.
At the end of the season 1,
Yeah.
at the end of season 1, he is going back to Zululand.
To claim
the throne.
So he doesn't tell us through his reign. Only he's becoming.
Yeah, but by-
the story of how he became.
Of how he became.
Then once he claimed the king,
Yeah.
it stopped the series.
Yeah.
Oh, it didn't carry on after
No,
that?
no.
Yeah, we
They're,
expect
they're in
season 2.
production now.
Oh.
They're in production for season 2.
Oh, he's gone back home.
Yeah, he's
Yes.
gone back home.
Yes.
Because
No,
that's where the tyrant
Yeah.
shit.
Yes.
Because right now he's still a general of an
Yes.
army.
Yeah,
But
no.
he-
He
but-
went to be king.
But they've already shown
He went
his
to
level
claim.
of cruelty.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
And-
but I'm saying going back to Zululand, if I may
Yes,
call
yeah,
it that.
Yes.
He's still a general at a head of an army.
Yes.
Not a
That's
king
right.
yet.
Yes.
He's a
Right.
general under a
And
different
different
king army. Yeah.
No. The story, The
Yes.
story ends with him assuming to be a king now.
I'm
That's
not
right.
talking about what the story ends in. I'm talking when he goes to reclaim his
Yes, he's
throne.
still a
He's
gen-
not a king yet.
Yeah, he's not a
That's
king
right.
yet.
He's still a general.
Still a general.
And then, like Mbali says, they allude to the cruelty.
And it's
through-
more her mother's
through-
story in the first
through-
episode.
Through kind of king, side stories, like where they go to
Where
kill
he goes
that,
back to his mom's village, and then
and then he
he
murders.
he murders his bully. His
Yeah. Yes.
his
Peter,
childhood.
Peter,
Yeah,
Peter.
yeah.
His
Oh, he
childhood.
did that before he was king.
And
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
won't say
So in the
say.
first Shaka Zulu, he only does that after he becomes king.
I can't remember. I was
Yeah.
a child.
I
when-
rewatched
Did
it
you?
because
Rewatched
they
it.
had it. They
It's on
have it.
Netflix.
They
Yeah.
have it on Netflix. I saw.
Yeah, because one of the generals says, you have already beaten them. Spare them.
Yes.
And then he
He's like,
Yeah.
nah.
you don't know what these niggas put
This
me
nigga
through.
gotta die.
This nigga gotta die.
They
And
say
he-
you
It was
gotta
just one
day.
nigga or a couple of niggas.
Couple of
yeah,
Couple.
a couple of niggas, and they kill all of them.
Yeah.
Are they still doing the impaling?
No.
Yeah,
No,
ba hlabela le room.
Yeah, ba hlabile ka lerumo. but I didn't show them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he used to impale.
Yeah, he used to impale niggas.
What is impale? Come on,
Like,
control.
like a steak, right?
Yeah.
Where they
He
stick the
impales,
Oh.
he impales your entire body.
Oh, shit.
When I
Ay, Kenya
had
Katla.
the steak,
But they did that at the
it was hard when I'm
hard.
home.
at the Ndwandwe, like that witchcraft
Yeah.
village
Yeah.
on Ndwandwe. They did impale people because they were
Yeah,
weren't
they
the
did,
people
they
hanging on poles and stuff.
Saupula
Mara
shout.
hona le mo- when he won the first battle, ana hlapa teng, ba emela ene jena. A tshosa the general before he became hona le the one who was in charge of.
Yes.
Aba re ntwana ena e masepa ena e khop.
Yeah.
Ha ntse e hlapa man, ntse e bina le one da. Aba hlapa ka marumo kaofela. A re ke bone dipipi tsa lona. A re la mpona ke mang. A re la mpona re na le pipi e nyane ba. A ba hlaba mfana.
Yeah, that was.
That's where the cruelty show.
Yeah.
Abahlaba.
So they would show it in instances like that. But season 1 ends when he assumes.
The throne.
Goes back home.
Anyway,
is about to
going back
assume
to what you were asking, ne? You know, like how, when they talk about the great migration of the Bantus, ne? I'm like, bruh, you know, they talk about how that in history, it's one of the biggest migration stories. Like how an entire,
Displacement.
yeah, like kids were being born in that time, ne? Like the level of sophistication or smart about a society like this, live. Babam ba kula, babam betsang, and they never show to survive that what mind was leading. They never want to show black people in that light.
Yeah, so
It was a
those
difficult time, man.
yeah, so those could be and so are there books that speak on it? So
Yeah.
that could
Yeah,
be
yeah.
A lot.
adopted into
And scholarship books.
There are a lot of
Scholarly
books.
articles as well.
A lot of books.
that could be adopted into
But
TV
they don't tell
shows.
about the life of the regular, because you will see mostly chronicles of the life of the average Mosotho person during that time. For example, you will see it in the records of the missionaries who were living side by side with them at the time.
Because they started recording shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I want to happen with TV and movies to make it easily accessible. Okay, that's why you have to maybe we paint it under like a brush is on a little Game of Thrones
Yeah.
just to make it interesting,
Entertaining,
you know what I'm
engaging,
saying?
yeah.
So it doesn't have to be too
true.
detailed.
Yeah.
Like I forgot spice,
Yeah.
to make it
Dramatize it.
yeah, dramatize it.
Yeah.
If I get spice, just to make it interesting.
Because
You know?
actually, Game of Thrones was based on real life
Yes.
events.
Yeah. Mpefela,
Yeah.
they added dragons and stuff
there's
like
a YouTube
that.
channel called Romela Ona. It shows like almost all the kings, like Mzilikazi. Because that guy has a lot of story too, like very rich Mzilikazi. In fact, he's the founding father of Zimbabwe. He's the founding father of Zimbabwe.
Mzilikazi.
Mzilikazi. Mashonas and it details both Kukuni. It
Yeah.
details a lot of, all the way to Zambia, how the people left Zululand, Hoba the king, the Ngonis, they call them Ngonis, the Baloti, Babangata, they tell a lot of stories.
When Mbali, what sort of stories would you like to see more of?
African porn.
But who?
We already got that.
But we only got one, man. Kind of use on that thing.
So there's a
So there's
Seeing Nigerian chicks
still a
splitting
thing.
it in half.
no, I don't think Sondez is
No.
still a thing. I
There's
don't
our
think
own
so.
defense.
Yeah, Sondez
There's
is
a lot
not
of African porn on Pornhub.
What you like to see, Mbali? What would you like to see? Maybe more South African lawyer shows.
I like comedies, Des. I
Yeah.
like a
Rom-coms.
good chuckle. So I think I'd like.
Do you
more
feel
of
like
those.
SA content is lacking in terms of TV?
I don't even know if I can give an accurate answer because I don't watch all that much TV.
Yeah, you're not a TV person.
Because I watch a lot of TV. So, you know the Sunday the midweek 7 o'clock on a Friday TV comedy sitcom. Those are not there anymore. Bo City Says La, Bo Nomza, there was
Yeah.
shows like
Yeah,
that.
those are nice,
yeah.
What is that other one that used to be a comic, Madam and Eve?
Madam and
Yeah.
Eve.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
it's
don't have
classic.
that. I
classic.
wanna if you can bring back the
What's
the
the
30
one?
the 30 minute 30
minute
minute
skits.
sitcom comedy
Yeah.
show. That would be nice based on a South African
family.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
enjoyed
family.
those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those-
Yeah, Madam
those-
Eve was nice. Yeah, yeah.
I think people can be creative. I saw suggestions.
Velaphi.
And Velaphi was really popular. Bosdo, or all of those. Man.
And I think what's also missing on TV, I don't watch a lot of TV. I feel like the family format is missing.
Yes, the family format is definitely
Ne?
missing.
You know, because we grew up on like there was a father figure, Bob
Yes.
Fresh Prince, you know,
Yes.
Bob Bill Cosby
Are
type
they,
of.
are they
Yeah.
still making Generations?
Yes.
Generations is still
Is
out.
it?
Didn't go?
No.
No.
Sidon,
No,
if
it's
it's
still
a-
Elafe.
Does anybody know how it ended?
I have no
Maybe
idea.
what Lisang they do.
I don't know.
Lisang, how did SCT end?
Yeah.
You are way
You know. Hey, you're wrong. Okay.
still talk about Sherelle.
Yeah, but the quintessential family
Programming.
programming.
My wife and kids type.
Yeah, we don't
I'm
get that
actually
anymore.
watching a British sitcom
Mind your
situation
language.
called Funny Woman. I'm enjoying it.
Is it
It
the
gives
British
me a
one?
nice chuckle.
I would like to see more horror, like in the vein of Lisilo. You know what I'm saying? Mara, make it dramatic.
We had a horror movie that came out a few years ago, a South African production.
In every one.
I forgot what it's called. Dimana Natsamaga Tugolosi in a bag.
Dope.
My nigga.
Dope.
The second one.
Yo, you need to get the name. I want to watch that shit.
Joanna High, I think she got killed in a fire or something.
Shit.
And now it's turned into this thing.
Evil thing.
And it needs to feed.
Yeah.
And it like the entire movie, it keeps, it breathing down his neck. Oh, brah, I'm hungry.
I'm hungry. Yo,
Get
feed
me,
me.
get me some food. And there's this young girl. I think he works for the family, or
Yeah.
or they are
Yo,
accommodating him for a certain period of
Yeah, you
time.
need to get the name of
and the daughter just wants to eat one of them, and he keeps having to.
To
Yeah.
quell it.
Yo, relax, no, it's in
Yeah,
more
to
now.
quell it. To quell it.
And the babu Setswana thing, or Zizol, I don't know.
Yeah, man.
Now, to listen to Guagapu, it's speaking a bit neck like
Yeah.
"Llembe."
Because
Actually, I would rather
love
see
to-
more stories like that.
It's on, it's on Netflix. You must
I
check it out.
need to check that out.
Afrikaner family.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll
I need the name because there's a lot of African folklore
Yeah.
stories.
In fact, you know,
like that,
this,
that are
like
scary.
Bo Story Sabo Sosobala.
Pinky,
Pinky,
like,
Pinky.
you know.
Pinky would make a
Yeah.
There is a Pinky movie on
I think I
on
saw it, but
Showmax,
I didn't
but it was
like
it was a
but
terrible
yes,
movie.
It was terrible.
When I movie Pinky
Yeah, when I
Hey,
Pinky Pinky
oh,
on
it was
Showmax.
terrible.
Yeah, no, I
Was
didn't
South
like
African?
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
South African.
South
They didn't low budget.
Also the budgets. I was about to
Yeah,
say.
so you need a
Low
like
budget.
make it a very good
because
story.
I mean to
yeah.
make something like GOT, bruh.
Yo, and happy to make Pinky convincing.
And it's because
it's
even-
CGI, right?
Yeah.
You know, it will be a lot of.
You know, Pinky Mbali. There was another one called Pere. There was a horse one.
Yes, when I live
Ile-
half man,
Where's my
half
coat?
horse.
Where's
my
Vasme
coat?
Kop?
Where's my
Vasme
coat?
Kop, eh.
Remember that photo?
Yeah, I remember the folklore.
Vasme Kop.
Vasme
I
Kop.
remember that shit.
Yeah, man. Eminem, there's a lot
That was
of.
a headless horse. Where's my coat?
No, no, couple in a chinchou depending on cars because I heard in the like a half man, half horse.
Yeah. Where's my
Yeah, that
coat?
nigga was like half man, half horse, and yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
So he was like a centaur.
Yeah, like a centaur.
Where's my coat?
Dog, there's a lot of African folklore horror stories that could be really converted.
Pinky
But Fakani would bang, man.
Yeah, the Fakani would bang.
Yeah.
Or the 100-year war. Makosa had a 100-year war, le Maburu, I think.
Yeah.
Or amongst themselves. I
Yeah,
don't
there's
know.
a lot of there's a lot of those stories.
You could have the Griquas and the Griquas and the Who, the descendants of the ancestors of today's colored people. Griquas and something.
The son.
The guy that Kokstad is named after.
Yeah.
Is a Griqua.
Oh,
The Griqua man, and they also played a large role in the internal politics of the land and the raids and the wars and everybody vying for superiority in terms of how they were perceived by the imperial government. It was
Another
it's really
story that
interesting.
I would like is how clans develop. Because like
Yeah.
like we are the same. Like today, based on clans. Like actually, we are just one house. That would be a nice story
Yeah.
that shows about how we are actually the same.
I also would like to, because America always likes to do these what if type of TV shows or stories. You know, what if we had kind of like a woman president, or
Then they'll do a story of
then
the
they'll
scenario.
do it. Yeah,
of how
then
to play
they'll,
out.
you know what I'm saying? So, okay, what if in SA we had like a female president, and how would that look like?
Yeah.
You know, what would a show called The White House, I think, in America, that deals with just the inner workings of how the White House
Would have
works,
looked- Oh,
of how it works, who advises the president, and how
inner workings.
just the inner workings of it, and it
How
ran
it's
for like
maintained.
8-9 seasons.
Hey.
You know what I'm
What is
saying?
it called?
It's called it's not called the White House. I'll give you the name.
Yeah, the security detail around
yeah,
it,
the security
catering.
detail. Yeah, and then they deal with the interpersonal relationships. All
It's
of
like a
it.
company.
Yeah, all of it. Yeah, it's so fucking dope. So something like that would be like a what if South Africa was being headed by a woman, or
What if the armed struggle lost?
Yeah.
I think so. Mara, I'll find the name. I'll find the
PAC.
name. Yeah.
What if the
Oh,
PAC?
yeah, what if the PAC one?
It's like
Oh,
how
yeah,
they
fair.
have
Yeah.
that book about Man in the High Castle that got turned into a series.
Yes.
That depicts.
It's a what if story, that one.
Yeah. What if the
Hitler won
Nazis?
the war.
Yeah. What if the Axis forces
Yeah.
won instead of?
The alliances.
Yeah.
And what that looks like. And
Yeah.
wonder how they
What
fucking
life-
painted
man.
it. It's fucking brilliant, bro. So you want like a what if,
imagination, yeah,
like a
yeah.
what if, in the future if
Futuristic, yeah, an
wins.
African futuristic, yeah.
Yeah. So those are the sort of
What if we
stories,
used
man.
Buloi
Hey,
for Winne Mangam to defeat Mangam?
Kapo, what if kind of king colonialism never happened?
Never happened.
Or
We left our own devices,
or
yeah.
missionaries never came
Yes.
and Christianized that. What does society,
look
South
like.
African society looks like?
Like,
Those would be interesting stories to
That's
see.
true.
Man. Yeah,
That's true.
those would be totally interesting stories to see. So yeah, man, libe, creative. I think like us being here at the film fest, I'm hoping these are the ideas that the homies are sharing amongst themselves. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Okay, how do you revitalize the South African film industry? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And TV shows.
because that's what film is about, imagination as
Yeah,
well, right?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, you don't have to tell us.
Actually, when last were you at the cinema?
Yo, I haven't I think the whole of last year I never went.
I only go because of my kid.
Because
I
there's
will
a
do
Bob
like
Marley
a-
movie that
I
just
would
dropped.
give my
Yeah,
kids
one
the
love.
same
I
And I
would
wanna
love
go
to see
check
it.
it
I
out.
would love to go see it.
I went
See
here to
what?
watch with my kids.
The Bob Marley-
the Bob Marley biopic.
Oh,
And apparently that nigga had 8 wives? No, not 8
No.
wives. I mean
8 baby mamas.
mamas.
baby mamas and
You
hella kids.
every time you hear like stories about prominent heroes, you are reminded of just how flawed.
They were at
They
a
were
human level.
At a human level.
Yeah, like they. I'm trying to find a politically correct way to say this, but I don't think there is. Niggas ain't shit, bruh.
Niggas will nick.
Your niggas will nick. Because Bob.
Because even they were niggas. Fucking Martin Luther King was nigga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was out
She
here.
was out here.
With a
Out
white
here.
woman.
With a white woman.
white woman too.
Whoa. And these are the people you
Those
Dog.
stories coming
Hey!
out.
Yeah.
All of them
Yeah.
niggas.
Because Bob,
Malcolm X.
I think had
All
like
of
5
them.
kids with his first wife, Rita, right? Who was
Yeah.
quintessential Jamaican dark-skinned
Yeah.
woman. And then subsequently the woman he
Yeah,
started cheating with.
Damien Mali's mom is a Canadian Miss Canada.
Yes,
Is
white.
Miss Jamaica.
Yeah,
She was Miss World, but from Jamaica, wasn't
Is
she?
it?
Man,
Yeah.
but yeah, more Damien.
yeah, but I
Eh.
know.
But Damon's
yeah.
mom.
Yeah.
Damon's mom's white, though.
It's white.
Yes, I'm agreeing with
She
you.
was
Yeah,
Miss
right.
Jamaica. She was a white Miss Jamaica.
Yes.
I think so.
No, she wasn't. She was Miss
Let
Canada.
me Google this.
Yeah, Miss Canada.
Miss
Miss
Canada.
Yeah, I think you know Miss Canada.
She was Miss
But
Canada.
She was a beauty
Was she
pageant.
not Miss World, but a Jamaican representative?
Who's Stephen's
I'm gonna
mom?
Google this.
Who?
Stephen.
I can say.
Kiri.
Stephen is Rita.
The
first one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the first
Then
one.
Munna wa Lauren Gema.
Different
Taking
lady,
Toki,
Janet something or another.
He's not from.
Ziggy.
He's
I
not,
think it's
Ziggy's not
Ziggy.
from the mother. Not
No,
from the
no.
wife.
Ziggy's mother is different.
No, Ziggy's mom is
Is Rita.
Is Rita, yeah. He's
With
the eldest.
Rita, he
No,
has
the
a
elder skin, Toki Stephen.
ki Ziggy.
He's Ziggy.
Ki
That's
Ziggy.
Stephen.
He's the
It's
eldest.
the eldest is the daughter, Sedila, and then Ziggy, and then
Obashebe da.
Nyakchela
Yeah,
ngithi,
yeah,
because I
Obashebe da.
read.
Obashebe. Hona le ke a tseba on
Talking
Wikipedia.
about Zandlebe, Damien Mali.
Yeah.
He lives in Zandlebe.
By
He's a pastor.
Breakspear, yeah, Cindy Breakspear.
He's a pastor, that one.
Then Honali Janet, another white woman.
She was Canadian Jamaican. That's why she was Miss Jamaica.
I'm
Yeah,
right,
so we were
but
both
We are
right.
both right.
But she was white.
But she was
was
white.
Yes, she won Miss World as a Jamaican representative.
Okay, that's
Where
both
the baby
right.
mamas
But
are.
to win Miss World, you have to be Miss Jamaica, no?
Yes,
yeah,
so she
because
was Miss
she was
Jamaica.
Miss Jamaica.
So she was
What
Miss
the hell
Jamaica.
was Jamaica out here doing, bruh?
Making a white woman win, right? But wasn't it under still British colonialism?
Yeah,
thing?
maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah,
maybe,
they were still maybe under still the British.
Yeah,
one,
Hojam
right?
Saidi Re Lwantsha Makgowa is
Yeah.
taking us back.
Yeah, because Bob was out here, bro.
Yeah, he was out here.
Yeah, Bob.
He himself is mixed.
Yeah, Bob.
He
yeah,
is.
Yeah, Bob
Yeah,
was out here.
he
It just shows you just how, and it's true, man. You know, there's only so many Jordan Peterson quotes you can say to try and downplay that shit, but women have really had a hard time,
Ne?
and they're not treated the same.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
They're not treated the same because they have not been allowed to outlive, you know, a lot of their mistakes.
Mistakes.
While there's been a
Niggas.
lot of forgiveness for
for
niggas.
niggas.
for niggas, because there was a going back to JP, there was a clip that I posted about something that I heard in his YouTube channel, and he's telling a story about Noah. I forgot what Noah's kids were, or what their names were.
Well, Ham and
Yes, Ham and I don't know
Yeah.
who
The other
but
ones.
apparently, after the chaos, and everybody's gone back to land, and the water has subsided,
Yeah, after the floods.
Mfa now becomes a drunk.
Moses.
wine.
Noah.
Oh, Noah.
Yeah,
Oh.
they were making wine with palm or something.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he becomes a drunk, and then there's an incident where he gets so drunk that he's lying in a stupor naked, and
the
then
daughters
and then
sleep with
Ham
him.
finds him.
Oh, yes.
Right, Ham finds him, and ubitsa makhotmana hae hore "Hey, lo tlo bone mbembana, ke na e tebohile," wa bona, eh. And then when he calls the brothers, when the brothers see what is happening, they enter the room ka reverse.
Yeah, they want to see the shame. Yeah.
Ka reverse, and then they
They
Cover
cover
him.
him.
they cover him, wa bona? And Ham in European tradition becomes the ancestor of slaves because of
Seeing his father's shame
the dishonor,
Of seeing your father in that
that he
position,
committed
yeah.
at that.
the dishonor that he committed at that moment. That was the punishment that his descendants then
Become slaves.
carried on to suffer.
Subjugated, yeah.
Yeah, and then JP said that, you know, if you choose to discard certain people or judge people for actions that inhered in men greater than you. So he's basically saying that, you know, it's Martin Luther King.
That's a great man.
That's a great man. You know, are you going to take this thing,
And
Yeah,
make
yeah.
it,
right, and then
blow it up and
Wipe-
discard everything. Yeah.
Everything else.
wipe his entire legacy,
Legacy.
because in the left someone, for
Someone-
example,
yeah,
or something more difficult to even comprehend as a black person. Are you going to look at Thomas Jefferson or George Washington, slavers, men that built entire nations and machineries, and say, but he was a slave?
Yeah. Fuck everything else.
Yeah.
He kept slaves.
Yeah, so weaknesses or qualities, not qualities, weaknesses or shortcomings that inhered in men better than you. That's what he said. Who are you then to judge those people
yeah.
for who
Judge them.
you are when you haven't even achieved
When that's what they
anything
next,
in
when-
your
In
lifetime?
your own lifetime.
But I'll say that to say that women are not granted the same.
Exactly,
Yes.
because that's exactly what
Yeah.
they did to Winnie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Women are not
That is
granted the
exactly
same
what
grace.
happened to
Yeah.
Winnie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad you circled back
Yeah.
around that
Yeah.
because that's exactly it.
Then I got that feeling actually.
They didn't grant her the
They
same
didn't-
grace
they
they
didn't
would
give
have
her-
granted
they
a
didn't give her
man.
that.
The grade.
And she was a
Yes.
really great,
Yeah.
great,
Hey.
great
Yeah.
woman.
In fact, but you are so spot on because what they then did, they
villainized her.
And then they used the story Stompy. Then it became bigger than keeping Mandela's name alive.
Hey. Catch the rest of this episode on Patreon.
Dojo.